Hello and welcome back to Fintellect. This is day 8 of our 21-day series, Understanding Money in 21 Days. By now, we have completed week 1 where we were trying to understand ourselves and our financial habits and our financial status. But now we move towards building a financial foundation, and this is all about the week 2 will be. So while we dive deeper into week 2 and we reach the 14th day, we would have a strong foundational knowledge of how to build a foundation for your personal finance. So today's episode would be about 4 pillars of financial health. So let's get into the video. While I talk about 4 pillars of financial, there is something important that I'd like you to understand, that what happens is most of the time we try to think that the money we are spending, the money we are investing, the money we are saving, the money we are putting it for our any purpose, what we think is all this is one directional, but what we need to understand is that this is all interlinked and this is a four-dimensional process, and there are 4 pillars to our investments. So it is not just one thing that how am I spending, or it's not just one particular focused thing. What happens is a lot of times we do 2 or 3 things differently, but if we start doing them together, they bring a better impact. So it is more like these things do a teamwork together. So what are the 4 pillars? The first pillar is spending, the second pillar is saving, the third pillar is investing, and the fourth pillar is protection. Now we'll explain you what are all these pillars. So moving towards the first pillar, that is spending. So what do we spend? We pay EMIs, we pay home loan, we build our lifestyle. All the money we spend, this should be coming under the first pillar, which is spending. Now, while you understand about this topic, keep in mind the previous 7 days where we have understood different facts about intentional spending and how you spend your money mindfully. So, all these things are interlinked together. So, the first pillar was spending. The second pillar, we mostly misunderstand it. We people think that it is investment, but like I told you in our previous session, the most important thing you do is when your salary credits in, you put an amount besides, which is your saving. You save money first and then you start to spend and invest. That is the pattern you should follow. So the second pattern, the second pillar is saving. You need to make a buffer money. What happens is that the most important thing you do before investing money or doing any kind of financial decision is that you try and calculate what amount I'm spending every month. And what you have to do is you calculate this and multiply it by 6. That sum of money should be ready in your bank account. You can put it in some liquid fund or anywhere, but it should be with you that if something happens, you lose your job or anything wrong takes place, you have a fund ready to help you go through that difficult time. So these are the first 2 pillars that you need to understand. Moving to the third pillar is investing. So now is the time where you decide that how much money I'm going to invest. You do SIPs, you do mutual funds, you do IPOs, you do different kind of things. But basically, you invest money for short and long term both. So you can decide your goals, that what am I planning. You can discuss it with your finance person, and then you can just design a pattern for yourself where you understand that what I'm doing with my money. The fourth pillar is very important and the most ignored one, and that's the reason I've kept it in red. We forget the most important thing in our life. It should be protection. Let's assume someone falls ill in your family out of nowhere. You come and you see, this should not happen, and we don't even think that, we don't even expect these things to happen. But if they happen, you should have a fund ready for it. So the most important pillar is protection. You should have your term insurance, health insurance, and every kind of insurance which helps you stay safe and keep your family safe. You need to have those kind of protections very importantly and necessarily, because these things would keep you going through and your family going through. So what you need to do is every insurance, you should have insurance for everything that helps you stay safer and keep your family safer. So if I give you a quick overview, your spending is controlled, your savings are built, your investments are going, and your protection is also built. So now what happens is, now with these 4 pillars, what happens is you become more financially stable and parallelly more confident. And this confidence is very important because it would bring you a lot of confidence. And eventually what happens is your spending patterns improve, your investment increase, your savings increase, your insurance plans get better. So this is an habit which you build over time. So what you need to do is you can use Fintellect platform to understand what amount of money you can save, what you're spending, all these calculations. If you want a particular demo of how Fintellect works, you can check the description box below. We have a link where you can book your demo session. For now, this is it for day 8 of Understanding Money in 21 Days series. This is Vedant signing off for the day.